England beat Greece 3-0. We saw Ollie Watkins score. Got some game time. Harry was on the bench. I thought it was a good thing to see Harry on the bench. Sometimes we don't need Harry all the time.
No, I think it was good to give Ollie some time, some proper game time, and it was a right decision. And you could say resting Harry because Ollie stepped up. He got his goal, and he offers a little bit more than what Harry does. He's got pace. We see Harry now. He can't really get away from his defenders how he used to do when he was at Spurs. And Ollie, spreads the defence. He runs behind. He gives the defenders something to think about when he goes long. Gives the players like Jude and your number 10s a bit more space in there. So I think it was good. And some of the younger players coming in, I think that's where we need to be a bit more brave now. You look at the teams like Spain. They're not scared to drop in, your Miles who's 17
and that's why they went and
Pedro and Pedro. All these kids, they're not scared to do it. If they're good enough, they're playing. If they're good enough to play for the domestic team, the Barcelona, then they're good enough to play. And they won a Euros
off the back of that bravery.
Exactly. So I think it's good that Lee Carsley is showing to school that our youngsters can step up and perform.
Interesting question because you broke through as a footballer as quite a youngster, and I remember you coming through as a young talent. And do you think sometimes people can be, especially the young talents, they can be sort of overtrained to the point of where they don't have that sort of tenacity that they might think when you're a 16, 17-year-old on the ball, you've just got this sort of freedom almost. And sometimes when people don't get that game time and they don't get allowed to express that freedom, it can get coached out of them a little. Is that something that can happen?
I don't think get coached out of them. When you're not getting that game time, I think it's just more what creeps in is your frustration. Is that when you're at that age, you just want to play.
Yeah.
It's just like when you was a young kid, all you do want to go out there and play. And it's the same as when you're a 16 or 17-year-old. It's when as you get older, you understand the dynamics and the politics of being on the bench and seeing your pros and whatnot. But I think the game's changed where if you're good enough, doesn't matter your age now, you should be getting the opportunity to showcase your stuff. And teams not worrying about being safe and playing their players who they can, trust who have been there and done it. I think they need to start giving and showing the youngsters a bit more chances.
Benjamin White, the Arsenal defender, who is a good player, very good player, of course, did not want to be part of the England setup when Gareth Southgate was there. There's talks of him possibly being involved in the setup. Do you think he should be allowed back? Should you be able to pick and choose when you play for your country, or once you say no, it's like, okay, you're done then?
Look, it's a hard one because we don't know the ins and outs. We don't know what's actually gone on between him, Gareth Southgate, and Gareth Southgate's team. If it's something that bad that he couldn't see himself in the same vicinity and playing under that management, then that's his decision. But now it's a new regime, new coaching staff, new ideas, and he's a great player. He's a great defender. So if he wants to come back, then I don't see why they should say no. It's up to Thomas if he feels he's capable of playing in his system, in his team. I think he could. So I think the best players we've got, we should have in our team. If we want to win the World Cup, put bygones be bygones. Let whatever gone in the past. It's a new regime, new, fresh. The best players possible, pick them. That's I
agree with that.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah. If there was an issue between him and Gareth and obviously like Jermaine mentioned and his team, there's an issue. If he's not comfortable playing, then why should he play there? You don't feel comfortable. It's like any working environment. So he's a good player. He's a good player, and it's a fresh start now. And it's like you said, it's so good to see these youngsters coming in. And I think Madueke was brilliant, by the way, as well for England. It's just nice to see fresh talent. You said about Spain bringing in all their youngsters too. This is what we should be doing. These youngsters are so good, so gifted, so talented. Just let them be free, let them play football.
Do you think Tuchel is the type of manager that will allow that to happen, allow the youngsters to flourish?
Well, I think he's been in the Premier League. He knows most of these youngsters. He knows that they're performing week in, week out for their club. It's the toughest league in the world. So there's no reason why they can't do it on an international stage. So I think he will give them a chance. I don't see why not. And like I said, they all gave a good counter for themselves against Greece. They put 3 past them away. And, with a stronger team, they lost at home 2-1. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully he gets the best out of the squad.
Yeah, Sunday it's going to be Ireland, England. Obviously, half Irish, half English for me. It's a difficult one.
Who are you supporting?
I'm a bit of a Declan Rice on this one, isn't I?
Well, you're just going to sit. You're going to sing the anthem. You're singing the anthem now.
Oh, mate, honestly, it's a tough one for me, but I'll be happy whatever the result.
Win-win. I like it.
It's a win-win for me. Yeah, I think in terms of we mentioned Harry Kane there. I do think we need to start thinking about the future beyond Harry for the next the World Cup. As I think Harry will be still involved in that squad, and what a player to have at your dispense, you know, especially later on if you need someone with a bit of an intelligent mind, which Harry has.
Of course.
I just do think we need to start thinking about that next generation. Otherwise, we might lose out, like with the Ollie Watkins, if you don't give him enough chance at international level to start sort of stabbing their authority. And we saw what he did when he came on.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously going to be inspired by a player like Harry Kane. You know, it's evident his record's unbelievable. So having him there will be fantastic for the mentality of the strikers. Anyone, he's just a leader. He's a great personality, and I think it will work well. But like you said, you've got to bring in these younger players now and let them start to get that experience and just be at the big stage, play for their country. I think it's a very, very bright future for England, a really bright future.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And I reckon that I think the more, with international football, the more games you get under your belt, the more confident you get, the more comfortable you get with it.
Within the group of players as well. Yeah.
And also the style of football as well. International football is different from, you know, domestic football. Yeah. So the more you play in that, the more you come at ease with it, and the more you feel, you know, confident and you express yourself.
Yeah.
So I think with the more that Ollie Watkins plays as the main striker, the better and the more prolific I think he will get. Harry Kane is not getting any younger; he's only getting older, and that cliff is near. Come the World Cup, he will lose a little bit of sharpness. He'll lose a little bit of pace because that's just natural. As we get older, we start declining slowly. There's only a few elite, absolute monsters out there like your Ronaldos and Messi who don't seem to drop off. So I think we do need to. Yeah, Harry Kane will be in the squad 100%, and a player like you probably could bring on for half an hour and do a massive job.
Yeah, a lot can change in 18 months as well. Thinking about ahead of the 2026 World Cup, like you said, Harry Kane is going to be that much older, 18 months older than where he is now. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It's almost 2 seasons.
Yeah,
you know, so it's a lot of time, a lot of stress on the body as well. And like we're seeing it, he's not as sharp as he once was. Still, don't take it away. He's a phenomenal striker. Yeah. But when you want your elite and you're playing in your World Cups and your best,
it'll be just about turning 33 at the next World Cup.
Yeah,
I think being in the German league is going to help him though. A lot slower and lot less intense than the Prem. So the German league will be a little bit more of a help to him.
Oh yeah, that will add on a couple of years rather than in the Premier League taking a couple of years away.
Yeah,
for sure,
definitely.
Absolutely.
Ben Thatcher marking, yeah.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.